Blah, blah, blah. I'm Fofi. I like cartoons. Blah, blah, blah. Steven Universe this. Adventure Time that. What's that? Live action shows? Okay, so I've made a handful of videos on my love of cartoons, and in just about all of them, I've made no secret that Baby Fofi was definitely not into shows with real people in them. But, okay, I gotta be honest, that's only like half true. I always preferred to watch cartoons 9 times out of 10, but I mostly play that up for a joke. Of course, I didn't just watch cartoons growing up. I'm a 2000s kid. I lived through a golden age of live-action kids shows, and there were a handful that I really loved. So while my last video was all about Cartoon Network doing what it does best, today I just want to kick back and talk about Nickelodeon and what they did best, the sitcom. Now, the live-action comedy show has been a part of Nick's DNA from day one, way back in like 1977. But for this video, let's start in 1994 with All That. For all the 90s babies and 2000s kids living on 90s table scraps, All That was our Saturday Night Live, Kenan Thompson included. You got a cast of child actors doing a bunch of comedy skits with special guests, musical performances, the works. And these days, the show's probably best remembered for Good Burger, a wholesome sketch series about a blundering fast food employee who annoys customers, blends burgers, oh that don't go in there, and kills a clown. Now, all that said, all that is super important to the story here because it basically set the stage for like 60 to 70% of Nick's live-action programming for the next 2 decades. Breathe. Use your lungs. Use your lungs! Use your lungs! Rule of thumb from this point on. For every successful Nickelodeon show, another 1 or 2 are born. Nick will often look at a popular show, pick a couple cast members they like, and then give them their own shows. It's like a family tree, and All That had 2 TV show babies, Kenan and Kel, and The Amanda Show. Kenan and Kel started in 1996 when I was a stupid 0-year-old baby. Starred Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell from All That, and was your classic filmed in front of a live studio audience family sitcom situation. But neither Kenan and Kel or the original All That got much of Baby Fofi's attention. Mainly because when these shows first aired, I was between the ages of 0 and -2. I mean, I definitely watched reruns, and I remember a couple of the classic bits like Good Burger. In fact, I was walking around the expo hall at VidCon last year with Amy Wright Meow, and we went to the Nickelodeon area, and I saw the Good Burger car, and I had a little moment. But for the most part, my mushy baby brain didn't start forming any kind of long-lasting memories until around 1999, which just happens to coincide nicely with the premiere of The Amanda Show. Like All That, The Amanda Show was a sketch comedy series, and this is where I start having vivid memories of these shows. So many of The Amanda Show's bits are wedged into my brain for life, and they were all just so stupid. Block Bleaster? Stupid. Totally Kyle? Stupid. Tony Pajamas?
Pajamas!
Yep, stupid. And I loved it all. The only thing about the show I didn't like were the Moody's Point bits. As an adult, yeah, these are pretty funny teen drama parodies. But back when I had mush brain, I didn't get it at all. So I was just like, ugh, why is everyone being all serious and boring? Go back to eating popcorn out of people's butts. But yeah, I really liked The Amanda Show. It's a classic. The words "case dismissed, bring in the dancing lobsters" will be written on my tombstone. Just you wait and see. I mean, it's not like I'll know. And much like The Amanda Show was born from All That, so too did the circle of life continue. Basically, Nick gave 2 random dudes from The Amanda Show their own sitcom. And thus, in the year of our Lord, and also Shrek 2, 2004, Drake and Josh was unleashed into the world. We got your classic odd couple sitcom going on here, with Josh Peck as the goofy nerd who plays by the rules, and Drake Bell as the rebellious cool guy who plays guitar and dates girls. Seriously, dating is one of his character traits. These characters are supposed to be in high school, and at one point Drake says he's dated like 74 girls. I rewatched a bunch of this show recently, and legit, almost every single line of dialogue is pure sarcasm, and it's amazing. Like, I wasn't sure if this show was actually funny or if it was just mush brain, but it really is an amazing family show. And now the following is my reenactment of just about every episode of Drake and Josh.
Hey,
Josh, you want to do this thing tomorrow that'll completely take you away from all your responsibilities? Drake, you know we have a test tomorrow. I have to study, and you should too. Yeah, I was planning on skipping that. Come on, it's not a big deal. Let's do this thing. No. All right, I have to pass this test or else I'll never get promoted to assistant manager. Wait, what? Oh, you heard my words. Well, you seem pretty set on this, man. I'm sure I couldn't manage to convince you to completely drop your principles and go against your better judgment so fast it makes people wonder which one of us is really the dumber one. Yeah, you're right. Now will you please let me study? All right, I guess I'll go to OprahCon alone then. OprahCon? Bye-bye, good grades. Hug me, brother. So you're in? Oh, you know it. Oh man, this is gonna be radical. Radical! Yeah, so I was thinking we could... Megan! Oh yeah, that's right. The show also featured an evil little sister character named Megan who would pull the world's most absurd pranks on Drake and Josh, probably teetering on attempted murder at times. And Megan was played by Miranda Cosgrove, who was then given her own show in 2007 called iCarly. Now I'm convinced that iCarly was created by clairvoyance, because Nick gave us a major TV sitcom about 3 teenagers who become internet famous for making a live-streamed web show in 2007. Now, these days, a kid's show about being internet famous, totally normal. So many kids watch YouTube these days that the government had to get involved. But back when iCarly came out, online video was still a super niche thing. YouTube was only a year or 2 old, and people had to use blog TV to live stream because there was no Twitch. There were no influencers when iCarly premiered. So they basically predicted the rise of social media. Oh yeah, the show was also, like, good. It's kind of important. Compared to Drake and Josh, iCarly could get pretty crazy. The web show segments are all over the place, with Carly's brother Spencer being a baby, a girl who thinks a mustache is a squirrel, that time Spencer almost killed Carly with a hammer, the plain white tees, and, of course, random dancing! And everyone on iCarly was hilarious, but let's be honest, the real star of the show was Gibby! Gibby!
Touch Gibby!
I remember in the later years of iCarly, it was a pretty big deal in my house. Like, my whole family would get together in the living room to watch the new episodes when they premiered. And clearly it had some kind of impact on me. This whole channel is basically my own little iCarly. Except, instead of a bunch of friends making it, it's just me. Alone. Random dance! So yeah, iCarly was a huge deal for Nickelodeon, big hit, but in order to move forward, we gotta jump back a few years and talk about all that again. You see, by the year 2000, all that went on a break for a couple of years and came back in 2002 with a totally new cast, including one Jamie Lynn Spears. The Nickelodeon cycle took its course, and in 2005, Jamie Lynn Spears was given her own show, Zoey 101. This was not a favorite of mine. I don't know, I think I was too young to get invested in all the teen drama. But the important thing with Zoey 101 was the Nickelodeon debut of actress Victoria Justice. And thus the Nickelodeon connected universe expanded even further, for when Zoey 101 ended in 2008, it was Victoria Justice's turn to, shine.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Nickelodeon's Victorious premiered in 2010 and was kinda similar to iCarly, just replace an internet show with the performing arts. Yep, we've got a post-high school musical sitcom going on here. A bunch of kids going to a performing arts high school, singing songs, doing plays, singing songs, making movies, singing songs. They mostly sang songs. Gotta move those soundtracks, you know? And honestly, I think Victorious might be my favorite of the Big Nick sitcoms. One of the things I always liked was its ensemble cast of musicians, actors, nerds, goths, puppets, and whatever cat is.
What's that supposed to mean?
But what really bothers me about Victorious is the fact that it has no ending! Seriously, you got 4 seasons of these characters growing and changing, but then all their arcs are just totally abandoned. They never graduate, the romantic subplots never get resolved, just nothing! The last episode of the whole show is some dumb story about them saying yes to everything for a day. Okay. Simmering. Despite that, yeah, I really liked this show, and it was a big hit. But of course, today, Victorious is probably best known for being the career launching point for the biggest pop star on the freaking planet. And I wonder who Nick gave a show to next. That's right, Jeanette McCurdy, the best friend from iCarly. And Ariana Grande. In 2013, we got Sam and Cat, and this is where I kinda started losing interest. I don't know, man, I just never really cared for this show. It's another odd couple situation, with Sam from iCarly becoming roommates with Cat from Victorious. The show even calls this out in the first episode.
We sort of have this whole fun odd couple dynamic. Built-in conflict.
And yet, even with the built-in conflict, the show throws in a bunch of other stuff that makes the whole thing feel gimmicky. Like, a Sam and Cat run a babysitting service, so every few episodes there's some new kid they gotta take care of. Plus, there's all these weird side characters, like a 12-year-old kid who manages a really stupid MMA fighter, Cat's grandma, robot waiters. I don't know, it feels like they're just trying to force the quirky out of the show. It's not bad, just maybe a little disappointing. But it only lasted for one season anyway, so oh well. So here we are, Sam and Cat, a spin-off of Victorious, which spun off from Zoey 101, which spun off from All That, and also a spin-off of iCarly, which spun off from Drake and Josh, which spun off from The Amanda Show, which itself was a spin-off of All That. Whew! I did that in one take, the first try. Oh my god. And now it's time for Rapid Fire Sitcoms! Also known as all the Nickelodeon sitcoms from my childhood that I missed. The Naked Brothers Band, weird mockumentary about a band of kids who sang songs about fishing for women. Show was kinda dumb, but I watched it. A lot. True Jackson VP. Did you remember this existed? Because I didn't until recently, and now I remember that it was okay. Fred from YouTube had 2 shows on Nickelodeon. How many of you had? You want some nightmare fuel? Well, might I interest you in Mr. Meaty, a horribly disgusting puppet sitcom that I liked for some reason. Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, a sitcom that also tries to teach kids how to get through middle school. An absolute, non-debatable classic, despite it probably not holding up as well as other shows. I don't know, I kinda get the sense I wouldn't like this one as much as an adult. And while we're at it, I keep seeing people putting Big Time Rush in the top tier Nickelodeon sitcoms category alongside Drake and Josh and iCarly, and I just gotta say, nah man, that's not it. I mean, it's fine, but compared to Drake and Josh, iCarly, Victorious, Big Time Rush just feels a lot more like a kid's show, you know what I mean? All the overacting, sped up slapstick, and constant, and I mean constant, over-the-top sound effects. It's fine, but when it comes to a Nickelodeon sitcom about music, I already got Victorious. And with that, I've exhausted pretty much every Nickelodeon sitcom I watched growing up. They're obviously still making tons of new ones today, but to be completely honest, I don't really care about those. I only wanted to talk about the ones I watched as a kid. And so, at the end of the day, while Baby Fofi would have always preferred to watch cartoons, I realized while making this video that some of these shows were absolutely integral to forming the sense of humor I have today. These sitcoms shaped my generation with relatable characters, memorable stories, and so much sarcasm that's probably why we're all jerks today. I actually have a lot more nostalgia and affection for these shows than I initially thought. So you know, maybe I've been giving live action shows a bad rap. Maybe they're just as valid as cartoons and I was just being closed-minded. Yeah. Oh, except Disney Channel sitcoms, those are straight garbage.